It's me, Big Awesome. You know, I'm not really sure how to announce myself yet. I mean, my name is ProBigawesome, but I don't like that. I don't like announcing that. Oh no, so it's the ProBigawesome here. I don't know, that sounds way better now. Alright, it's the ProBigawesome. I'm a little pissed off because I've recorded this at least 4 times and my computer's been messing up and it just deleted it over and over and over again. So I'm gonna try to get through this quickly, but at the same time I talk a lot, so I don't know. Let's just stop it. Let's just get started, and then I'll explain my card choices and what the basic goal of this deck is. I got 1 BLS, I got 1 Gores, 2 Photon Slaves, 3 Salvage Warriors, 2 Solar Wind Jammers, 3 Quick Draw Synchron, 2 Gen X Ally Birdman, 2 Junk Synchron, 1 Dandelion, 2 Synchron Explorers, 2 Level Leaders, 2 Tree Worn Draws, 2 Effect Failures. And now spells. 1 for 1, Heavy Storm, Reinforcement of the Army, Mind Control, Pot of Avarice, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, 3 Tuning, 2 MSTs, 2 Breakthrough Skills, and 1 Solemn Warning. Alright. Before I go to the extra deck, I'm going to explain the main deck. Basically, when I created this deck, at the beginning of it, it was just basically kind of supposed to spam rank 5 Xyz monsters. It's evolved since then. I have a little more options, a little more wiggle room. But the most basic combo is that you kind of want to always have Quick Draw Synchron and Salvage Warrior in your hand first turn. So discard a card for Quick Draw Synchron, and then tribute Quick Draw Synchron to summon Salvage Warrior. Now Salvage Warrior, if you're not familiar with its effect, is when it's tribute summoned, you can special summon 1 tuner monster from your hand or your graveyard, which is really handy. Opens a lot of options, you run a lot of tuners, you have access to the hand and the graveyard, super handy. And you use Salvage Warrior's effect to bring back Quick Draw Synchron. Then bam, overlay for rank 5. It's that simple. But there's also, as you can see, there's plenty of other options. I still got some synchro cards. Anyways, let's just move on to the extra deck. I got 1 Wind-Up Zen Mains, got 1 Utopia, got 1 Shard Fortress, 1 Volcanosaurus, 1 Wind-Up Arsenal Zen Mao. Not quite sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Doesn't really matter. 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, 1 Thunder Charger, 1 Armory Arm, 1 Catastrophe, 1 Junk Warrior, 1 Junk Gardener, 1 Gaian Knight, a Junk Berserker, Junk Destroyer, and a Scrap Dragon. Now, I know people like to put in their level 8 as Stardust, because, I don't know, people are just in love with Stardust, but I figured, why be negating destruction when I can cause destruction? So Scrap Warrior seemed, not Scrap Warrior, I don't even know if that's a card, Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon seemed like the obvious choice. I'm basically in love. He is definitely in my top 3 favorite synchro monsters. Anyways, just in case you might be wondering how I summon some of these Photon Strike Bouncer. This deck is really flexible. It actually surprises me sometimes, some of the combos I open up with. You gotta kinda think outside the box to pull off plays with this deck sometimes. But basically, as long as you have a Level Leader does ridiculous plays. Level 8 stuff, you can sync You can overlay for anything. I don't think I explained my entire main deck either, so I'm gonna get on that. Just a few of these card choices. If you're not familiar with Photon Slayer, I put him in there for 3 reasons. He's a light monster, he's a level 5, and he can be special summoned to the field if there is a face-up Xyz monster. And it doesn't have to be on your side of the field either. Your opponent can have an Xyz monster and you can special summon this. So that makes it a little bit easier. I got these 2 Solar Windjammers over here. It's level 5. It can be special summoned if you have no other monsters on the field. And it's a light monster. Plus, if it manages to survive a standby phase, if you leave it on the field for some reason, like maybe if you just needed a shield, its level increases by 1 during every standby phase. So, that's another photon strike bouncer possibility. I've done that a couple times. The Gen Exile Birdman, obvious, just recycling cards. He helps me make my Zen mains. Dandelion, come on. Dandelion's just a synchro card. Discard him with Quick Draw. He's amazing. You should run him in any deck that has synchron monsters. Got some level leaders. He helps out the deck a bunch. These level leaders and these Treeborn Frogs are the way you get out salvage warriors later in the game. Just level 8 one of your big monsters, and then use some level leader, tribute it for one of these salvage warriors. And there's plenty of things you can do with this deck. It's not just this deck. Like, I like Synchrons. That's what encouraged me to create this deck. But Synchrons, they kinda have, like Jump Doppel, kinda have like a set deck list. Like, there's always these cards that you have to have in it. In this deck, I just put in random cards. You put in whatever you feel like it. You can take out cards and put in new ones. You just experiment, see how, I don't know. Maybe I feel that way about this deck because I made it my own. It's mine. I created this deck. Nobody else uses this. I like this deck because it basically makes me feel like I invented an archetype. Which I guess I did. Xyz Synchron. There's Xyz Synchro decks, like Infernity's Xyz now. I personally like the Synchro version, but I stopped playing it after Trishul was banned. Brionac. After Brionac was banned, I was like, it's over, there's no more loop, time to move on. Now, and I would really, if anybody is watching this out of the 4 people that probably watch this, I encourage you to play this deck. I just spread the word, man. I want this deck to be popular. I want people to see how fun this is to play. Because I'm pretty much just on an island by myself here. There's nobody else, just all me with this deck. Every time I play this deck, people are like, what? WTF, what are you playing? What is that? And also, as YouTube may soon discover, I have a little bit of trouble making up my mind. So, whenever I want to tech in a few new cards, instead of deciding cards to take out, I pretty much make an entirely new deck list. Like, here's the one that was the first, like, original before it branched off. It wasn't the original. It's definitely evolved since then. You could play this one as well if you want to. I think it might be a little bit simpler. Maybe because, Photon Slayer can be a dead draw potentially. And, BLS, you don't really want to draw that if all you have is dark monsters in the graveyard. This one was just the straight up, this one stuck to the original goal. Quick Draw, Salvage Warrior. That's pretty much the entire deck in this one. The other one has more options. I like it. I like the other one better. Like in this one, I have more level 2s. There's a Gachi in there. Who, of course, I no more room for Gachi in the new one. I took out Gachi, replaced it with Armory Arm, which I thought was a good choice. Anyways, because I mean, I want you to go out and maybe modify this deck, make it your own. I'm just trying to give you some more options with a few different deck lists. This one's pretty similar though. I think it's like maybe 5 cards difference. Like you could pay Necrolinker, which if it's you can use its effect. You contribute the card to select one Synchron Tuner monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And it cannot be used as Synchro Material monster during the turn of special summon, which isn't a problem because you use them to overlay. Like I had 2 copies of this in the original version, where I switched it up. You don't really need it anymore in the new one. It's not like it's not a good card for this deck, but I like to maintain my 40 card minimum. I need just not the room for it. Like there's many possibilities you can do with this. I've thought of a bunch of weird things. I think weird ideas all the time because I mean I made this deck and nobody else had thought of it. I looked it up everywhere before I did this. I'm not just gonna claim it's one of a kind without checking stuff. Nobody else has done this. Maybe it's just because nobody else cares about this. But I think it's important. I think it needs to be spread. There's plenty of different things you can do with this deck too. Like if you wanted to, you could run a frog engine. It's possible. Salvage Warrior is a water monster. Maybe you can put in some salvages and some more greens and some other stuff like that. I might do that. If anybody wants to see me do that, I'll attempt to make a deck list of that too. I'll pretty much try whatever you want. No gay stuff. No butt stuff, okay? But, you know, Yugioh wise, I'll pretty much try whatever. I mean, I know I'm just rambling on and on and on. I'm just talking and talking. It's about 2:30 in the morning. I woke up very early this morning, about 9. And now I'm awake at 2:30. So I'm probably just repeating things over and over and over again. Saying things, just rambling on. I mean, I'm tired enough to say the word rambling. I mean, nobody says that. So maybe it's just time for me to go. So I really encourage you to try out this deck. I mean, if you don't like the video, if you don't like my commentating, it doesn't matter to me. I want you to try out this deck, spread the word, give some credit where credit is due. Nah, you don't have to tell everybody. That ProBigawesome made this. You gotta remember, ProBigawesome made this. Well, anyways, if you like it, like it. And if you don't like it, you don't belong here. Go away. I don't need you. Nah, I'm just messing with you. You can come back. I'll give you another chance. But just this once. Bam! Headshot. I'm having way too much fun with these stamps. I don't know. I don't even know all the stamps yet. Let's see what this one is. So beautiful. So beautiful. Alright guys, I'm done taking up your time for now. I'm gonna pause this, upload it, get a little bit of sleep, come back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get like 3 views. That's pretty much the best I can ask for. I'm still not sure how YouTubers end up getting like 40,000 subscribers. I don't know, I'll just keep on posting stuff like this. Maybe I'll get there. Maybe not stuff like this. Maybe you just want me to stop talking. I'm gonna go now. Now I'm sure I'm talking too much. See you later. The ProBigawesome signing out. Maybe I gotta work on my exit too. I'll see you guys later.